Okay, so any questions off homework 6? We're going to start with number 9, just because you should be able to do that, but it's okay if you forgot. If it is absolute value, your only option is to graph. There is not an actual rule for absolute value. You just have to graph it. Okay, so 4 minus 2x. Okay, this is going to be a V shape. And what x value would make the inside of that 0? 2. Okay, so do you see if I did 4 minus 2 times 2? So I'm going to start my vertex at 0. Or I'm sorry, at 2. 2, 0. Okay? Because 2 would make the inside of that y value 0. So that's where my v starts. Okay, then remember that the number in front of 2 tells you, in front of x tells you the slope. So if it's a 2 in front, that means that your slope is 2 over 1. But remember, it's a v. So you're going to go 2 over 1, 2 over 1, 2 over 1. Okay, then the other way. Okay, so there's my v. Okay, then remember that the boundaries are going to tell you where you should shade. How far are we shading? 0 to 5. So I'd start at 0, shading underneath, then I'd keep going until 5. And then what shapes are those? Triangles. So you'd find the area, add them up. Okay? Triangle on the left, 1/2 base times height. What is the base? What's the height? Oops, 4. So 1/2, 2 times 4. 1/2 and the 2 cross out, it's just 4. That's my first area. Now do your second one. Count your base and your height. So my base this time is 3. My height is 6. What is 3 times 6? 18. Cut it in half. 9. Add them together. 13. Okay? But absolute value, that's really your only option, is to graph it and then look for where they look for the triangles. Okay, anything else? Did any of you already do number 6?
I sure did. You're not a big number.
Okay, let's try it. So look at number 6. Remember, you did not learn U sub at this point. So you would have to do a rewrite.
I did a rewrite too.
It would be x over square root x minus 2 over square root x. Okay, and then from there you would want to simplify. Now, remember with exponents, so this is x to the 1. This counts as x to the 1/2. What do you do with exponents when you're dividing? Add or subtract? Subtract. So, put a little thing here. You are going to subtract the exponents, right? Like if it was x squared over x, you would know, oh, one of them crosses out. So if it's fractions, don't overly complicate it. You have one whole x on top. You have a half x on bottom. What is going to be left over? X to the 1/2. How am I going to rewrite the second x? The power on it. If it's a 1/2 on the bottom. Negative 1/2. Very good. And then your 1 and your 9. So you would have to split the denominator up underneath the numerator. And then you would have to reduce each of those pieces to now do the power rule. So your antiderivative would be x to the 3/2, 2/3. And then negative 1/2 plus 1 would be x to the 1/2. And then if I divide by 1/2, what am I actually multiplying by? Divide by 1/2 is the same as multiplying by 2. Because remember, 1/2 flipped, the reciprocal is 2. So 2 times 2, that would be a 4. Now remember, typically you would have a plus c, but since we learned that they're going to cross out, we don't put it. Then you would plug in 9, then you would plug in 1.
Would it be plus 4?
No, because you're dividing by positive 1/2 when you add 1. Yeah? Okay, then from there, this would be 2/3 9 to the 3 over 2. And then minus 4, 9 to the 1/2. Okay, but remember that the 1/2 is really a square root. So like look at this first one. Okay, you have a 9. What's the square root of 9? 3. Cube it. 27 divided by 3. Back to 9 times by 2. 18 for that first one. Okay, and you could go in a different order if you need to. Okay, but that would have been 18 minus. Okay, then on my second one, what's the square root of 9 here?
3
times 4? 12. And what is 18 minus 12? 6 for my top number. Now, your bottom number is going to come out easy because you're just plugging in 1. So 1 to any power, that's just going to be a 2/3. 1 to any power, that's just going to be a minus 4. So then from there, you'd have 6 minus 2/3 minus 4. Is that right?
Parentheses.
Okay, you have two choices. You can put parentheses or you can make that a plus 4. I'm going to just do parentheses. Okay, and then that would be good enough. Okay? That's okay. Okay, I kind of want to show you how to check these, but I feel like y'all are just going to not do any of the work. Yeah, in the calculator. Do you want to know?
No.
Okay. So yes, you're going to use it on the AP exam later. But so this is a way to check your work. So if you go to Math 9, boom.
Oh,
Okay.
what?
And so then if you, now obviously this number came out ugly, so our decimal is going to come out ugly, but watch. I'm integrating from 1 to 9. And then you would type in your expression here. So I'm going to pull up, is it this one for the y? No. How do you get the thing? There we go. Okay, and then I'm putting x minus 2 over square root x. And then go here, it should be a dx. So look at that. I just literally typed in the integral and it'll give you the exact value. Okay, so you can use that to check your work. Okay, but that is not a substitute for doing the antiderivative. Okay, and then look, what's 6 minus negative 4? That's really, 6 plus 4 is 10, then take away 2/3, 9 1/3. Very exciting, okay? Now you know. All right, should we just keep going on other stuff?
No.
Okay, great. Let's look at your notes. Okay, most of this you are going to do, and I am going to help you check it. Okay, so I could do you substitution forever, and you're not going to get better at it if you don't practice doing it on your own. So on the front, look at all 4 of these. Only one of them is going to require you substitution. Don't say it out loud, just look at it. Okay, the other 3 can all be rewritten. Okay, which one is going to need you substitution out of all 4 of those?
4, 2, 3.
Number 2 is going to need you sub. Okay, here's why. Are you allowed to split if you only have one thing on the bottom?
Yes.
Yes. Are you allowed to split if you have one thing on the top? No. This is not splittable. This is U sub. All of the other ones are rewrites. Okay, not splittable. So look at the other 3, and I want you to do the rewrite yourself. And then we'll check them in a second before you start doing the algebra. So try to rewrite. You can pick a friend and do it together. 1, 3, and 4. And just do only your rewrite step.
Which one?
1, 3, 4.
Oh.
And then number 2 is U sub, so we're going to save that one. You're not, because you have endpoints. 1, 3, and 4. Just skip the one with U sub. And I don't need you to do it all the way. Just only do the first rewrite step so that we can check that before y'all finish it. Okay, number 1, what was your rewrite?
X to the negative 2.
Yes, good. X to the negative 2 dx. You are going to finish that one in a second. Go down to number 3. Okay, let's check our rewrite on number 3. You should have split the denominator. Okay, rewrite. 1 to e. You would have had x squared over x minus 1 over x. Now, one of those can be further simplified. Which one? First or second? First one. What is x squared over x the same as? Okay, so 1 to e x minus 1 over x dx. Okay, and then from there, you're about to do it. Okay, now look at number 4. Okay, for my rewrite, let me put like a little line here. Okay, that would be integral from 1 to 2 of x over x squared minus 4 over x squared. Okay, how can I fix the first one? Okay, so 1 to 2, x is crossed out, that'd be 1 over x left over. Okay, minus. And then this one, how would I bring, there are no x's to cross out with those guys. Huh?
Bring the x to the top.
I want to bring it to the top, so what do I do to the squared? Make it negative. So it'd be 4 stays in front, that's a coefficient, you're not moving that. Okay, but when the x comes up, it's going to be to the minus 2 dx. Now, why would I not rewrite 1 over x?
Because you're still not doing ln.
Because it's a special. The integral of 1 over x is ln x. Okay? So I'm going to do this one with you. You're going to do the other two and see if you can find the right answer. Okay, so look at that first one. Antiderivative. What is the antiderivative of 1 over x? Say it all the way right. Absolutely.
ln bar.
Yep. Okay. Absolutely right. Good job. Okay, then x to the negative 2. Add 1. What do you get? X to the negative 1. Then divide by negative 1 with the negative 4.
Plus 4.
Plus 4. Okay, then I'm going to rewrite that one more time because that looks kind of annoying. ln x, and then I'm going to make it 4 over x. Then at that point, I'm going to plug in 2 and 1. F of 2 is going to be ln of 2 plus, and then when I plug in my 2 on the bottom, 4 divided by 2 is a 2 left over. Okay, then for my second term, I'm plugging in a 1. That would be ln 1 plus 4 over 1 is just 4. What is the ln of 1? 0. Okay, remember, ln of 1 is really an ln of e, are the only two that you really need to know. Okay, then from there, I would take top minus bottom. So it would have been ln 2 plus 2 minus 4. And what is 2 minus 4 in those constants? Good. Oops. ln 2. Good. Okay.
How come we have answer choices on 1 and 3 but not 2 and 4?
So 1 and 3 are off the AP test. 2 and 4 I just made, and I didn't want to make a bunch of answer choices. So. Okay, so you're doing 1 and 3. If you get those easily, you should be able to turn over and do number 5 pretty easily. Okay, so do 1 and 3. And remember, you should not be doing U sub on either one of those. All I have left are Gudo squares and superbolas. But if you want one, can I get it? Oh, you're not going to read it? Oh, you did? That's awesome. Congrats. Andy?
So she didn't have.
You know where you want one?
You know, I counted that.
So this thing doesn't fit, right?
You good? Or are you confused?
I haven't read. Ooh.
Because that's what I remember.
Super Bowl.
The top I got a half. E squared minus.
Did you see I put your
Minus
test grade
L
on?
and E is 1. Okay. Yeah.
And then minus a half.
Minus. Oh, that's what F1?
Yeah.
Sorry. And then Ln of 1 equals what?
So
And Ln of what?
-1 minus a half.
Wait, what's Ln of 1?
ln of 1 is 0.
And then
It's E.
everything minus 1/2.
I think it's
E?
Okay, if it's x to the negative 1, that's
because you're gonna subtract -1 minus a half.
So this would be 1 over 1. That would be 1 over 2. You see what I'm saying?
That's thing to know.
So if it's x to the negative 1, your x goes onto the bottom. So now plug these in
So
again.
E squared divided by 2.
I have to go back to the bottom.
Well, I mean, if you do it wrong, though, that's not the same, right? If you do 1 to the negative 1, that's 1 over 1, which is 2 to the negative 1 would be 1 over 2, which is half. So these numbers are wrong, is what I'm trying to say. And that made your
I think
final answer wrong.
C is either.
That is your
Yeah?
I don't know the answer.
Yes.
Oh, I was right.
That's right for number 3. Okay, anybody need help?
Yup, right.
Okay.
Okay, that's it.
What is negative 1 minus another half?
Plus a half.
No. Minus 1 minus another half. You're not multiplying.
Oh, that would be negative
Yes.
Got that.
3/2.
Yes.
And then E. Because I'm multiplying plus subtract.
Okay, so now go back and do 1.
Still all right.
1 minus a half.
I put a half
You did it backwards. You do top minus bottom. Yeah?
top minus bottom, but I did the bigger number. I put F of 2 minus F of 1.
No. It should be, okay, so do you notice? So it should be,
Oh.
yeah?
It's top minus bottom.
Does anyone see the right answer for number 1? Do you see it on there?
I see. I didn't even do it.
Okay, 1 should have been C.
I don't know, bro.
Okay, it's okay. When we get to other stuff, you'll be okay with it. Do we need to do it or no?
Yeah, that goes on the Yeah, I did. Yeah, did you not?
Okay. So I'll go ahead and do it so that hopefully you can find your mistake. Should be x to the negative 1.
Why is it not a half? Or 1?
So what's negative 2 plus 1?
Plus 1. Negative 2 plus 1 equals negative 1. And then put a negative down.
Negative, okay, focus. Negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1. You could have put the negative on the inside or the outside, it doesn't matter. Okay, then at that point, if you put your negative on the inside, that is the same as 1 over x.
I didn't know it was negative.
Oh, that's what you were missing, okay. And so then from there, when I plug in 2, I'd have negative 1/2. When I plug in 1, I'd have negative 1 over 1, which is just really 1. Oh wait, negative 1, excuse me. And then when I subtract these, negative 1/2 minus negative 1, they cross out and you get a plus. So if it's negative 1/2 and a positive 1, hopefully you see that that would be the right answer. Okay? Number 3, did anybody get it?
Yep. Is it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, If you did it, what letter did you get?
E.
E is right. Okay, if you didn't get E, we're gonna do it. What's my hey? Who? For what? Oh, just for a picture? Sure. Okay, what would your antiderivative be here?
A half x squared minus ln absolute x.
Wait, why is it that loud, girl?
Yep. Okay.
Oh, I know what I'm multiplying 1 plus 1 for the exponent, right?
Uh-huh.
And then
Are you
1
timing by 2? Divide by that. So you add 1 and then divide.
Dude, I've been
Yes.
doing this on all my homework.
Oh man, Val.
That's okay. You know what? You gotta know what you're doing wrong to fix it, right?
I'm not gonna.
Okay. Look. Well, okay. I don't need you to go back and redo the ones that you did on your homework wrong, but just know, yeah, you add and then divide, y'all. Divide. Okay. So from here, I'm plugging in E. So I would have 1/2 E squared minus ln E. Now, ln of E, think about that's like E to the 1. So when the ln and the E cross out, the 1 stays, it's left over. So that would be 1/2 E squared minus 1 as your top number. Okay, so I kind of ran out of space, but that's what normally would have gone up here. Okay, then for my bottom number, f of 1, it would have been 1/2 E squared minus ln of 1. What's the ln of 1?
1.
Nope.
Oh, 0.
0.
Wait, what's the ln of 0 then?
You can't have an ln of 0. Okay, and then I'm going to take those two guys and subtract. So it would have been 1/2 E squared minus 1 minus, oh wait, never mind. That E should never have been there. Sorry. Oh wait, I crossed out the wrong one. Okay, when I plugged in 1, I should have just did a 1/2 times 1. Yes, so this is just like a normal 1/2. My bad. Okay, so 1/2 E squared minus 1, and then minus 1/2. So this is your top value when you plugged in. This is your bottom value. But if it's minus 1 minus another 1/2,
3 over 2.
it would have been 3 over 2. So E would have been right. Okay? All right, number 2, we skipped it. Now we're coming back to it. What should your U be?
3x minus 2.
Okay. He wrote it on there. He's in band. He's a junior, I think. He plays the tuba. You don't know BB?
No.
He wrote that he turns almost legal because it was his birthday. Yeah. Well, actually, he asked me to write it, so I did write it, but he told me to. Yeah. And I didn't want to be like, you know.
No, we can't do that.
Yeah, you can't be on my calendar, so put it up there. Okay, so du is 3dx, which means dx is what?
Du over 3.
Okay. So now I want you to rewrite it. Now notice this one has endpoints. So are you going to have to go in and change your endpoints?
Yes.
Yes. So try that part. Let's see what you remember from yesterday.
So what if we don't want to change our endpoint?
Oh, I forgot to put the over 3. Okay, if you don't change the endpoints, you should have to go back to x, but that's fine. You like the longer way better?
Yeah.
Changing the endpoints?
Okay, so hold on. So plug the U in.
So hold on, so just rewrite it first. So it'd be 1 over u,
Yeah.
and then du over 3.
Hold on.
And then what are we pulling to the outside? Okay? And then it's the integral of u? No.
1 over u.
Good. Okay, at this point, you are supposed to change the endpoints. Where do we get our new endpoints from?
From the u.
Yes. Okay, you take your original 2 endpoints, and you're going to go back and plug them in. So my top endpoint was a 2. So if I do 3 times 2 minus 2, what's my new top endpoint? 4. Okay? And then my bottom endpoint was a 1, so if x was 1, then it'd be 3 times 1 minus 2, which is 1 on the bottom. What's the antiderivative of 1 over u? ln u.
Oh, yeah.
And And then remember, if it has endpoints, you can write the C, but they're going to cross out anyway. Then we're plugging in 4 on top, 1 on bottom. And remember, you can not change your endpoints if you go back to X. Really, either one of those is fine. At that point, I have ln 4 on top, ln 1 on bottom. What's the ln of 1? 0. So I'd have ln 4 minus 0, which is ln 4. Is that the answer?
No, 1/3 on front.
1/3 in the front.
Join like at the end of like almost like into our test, you remind us to do shortcut, like on the math, like ln of 1 equals 0.
Sure.
Like something like that.
Sure. All right, turn the page. Top one you should be able to do. It is U sub. Okay, so give number 5 a shot. Oh, I was about to excitedly exclaim that I numbered it right, but there's no number 8. So JK, no excitement.
Why is this one U sub, but like...
Okay, that's a good question. Why is this U sub? What am I not allowed to split up? You're not allowed to split up the bottom. You're allowed to split up the top, but you're not allowed to ever split up the bottom. That's the difference. Like, look on the front. You see how it was just one thing on the bottom when we split up?
So you can do that.
You can split up the numerator over a common denominator.
Okay.
But a common numerator, that's not a thing. So
we
if
can
the denominator's one thing, you can split up the top. But you can't reverse that and split up the bottom.
So on 5 we can do U sub.
You're doing U sub, yep. And then number 6, we did one kind of like that. If it's absolute value, you have to graph.
Me? What is that? I need to do boom and say which one you want to see how it's going to be instead.
Yes, it?
Yeah.
Can you read mine?
You already gonna do that?
I need help on one of the boards.
Is it easy though? No?
Your U is on the bottom.
You said the question's so confusing?
Yeah, I need help on number 4.
Because your U here, even though your X is crossed out, that will leave a 1 up there. And what's the integral of 1 over U? Yep. So your answer, y'all's answers should have an ln in it. That's it.
Look at you, I hate you.
Good, that's right. Now do that one.
Okay.
So you need to graph it. Okay, 2x dx. And then you have to get dx by itself. You bring the 1/2 out, and then on top, you should have kept that x up there. So that that x and the 2x, the x's will take each other out, yeah? So then from there, you're going to rewrite your integral. You'll keep the x on top, but x squared minus 4 is your u, and then your dx is now u over 2x. And then the x's will cross out. Hold on, this should have been. Because remember how it was an x squared? And then your 2, when it comes out, it'll be a fraction. Because it was your u should be on the top. Remember there was an x up there, so it should be 1 over u.
You step on number 5.
And then your 1/2.
Because you can't have a common.
That's it.
Or
And then
denominator.
when you integrate the
So you can.
so once you do this next step, oh wait, hold on, you haven't integrated yet, I'm sorry.
No, because it's bigger here.
Okay, then what's the
They
integral
have
of 1
more
over u?
numbers here.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay, you should have picked which one?
See.
It is C.
Yay!
Okay, look, watch. Your u is x squared minus 4. Du is 2x dx, which means that dx is du over 2x. Okay, integral rewritten is x over u du over 2x. Your x's cross out, your 1/2 comes out, it's 1 over u du. What's the antiderivative of 1 over u? 1/2 ln u in bars, and then I'm just going to go ahead and go back. U is x squared minus 4 plus c. Now remember, we don't need the brackets if we don't have the endpoints. So you're either doing endpoints or a plus c. You would not usually have both.
Plus c is general solution.
Yes. Okay, look at number 6. Which way is x minus 1 absolute value shifted?
To the right.
To the right one. So right one, draw your V. If you used a calculator, you should be able to do it without. You are shading from where to where? 0 to 3. So shade 0. We'll do 1, 2, 3. Shade to there. Now the question is, I need to know how tall those triangles are. Remember, they're as tall as the y value would be. So if this is 0, well then plug in a 0. What is the absolute value of 0 minus 1?
1.
1. So this is 0, 1. That's how tall it is. And then this is 1, 2, 3. Well, if that's a 3, plug 3 back in up here. What's 3 minus 1? So this is 3, 2. And then you would find the area of those triangles, add them together. Has anybody gotten it yet? D is right. Okay. Okay. Well, I think he'd already done it. So it'd be 1 times 1 cut in half, and then 2 times 2 cut in half. So it's 1/2 for the first one, 2 for the second one.
How do you do this? So it'd be 3 times 2 divided by...
What? No, you take your 2, make it a 4 out of 2. What is 4 out of 2 the same as? 2. And then 4 halves plus 1/2 is 5 halves. Yeah, you get a common denominator. Remember doing that?
Find the area under the triangle. I know, I forgot that.
Yeah, it was the adding. Okay, so we're going to start on number 7 tomorrow. We really need to finish this. So if you have questions off the homework, okay, we probably will not get to them in class. So do your homework. Which ones are due tomorrow? Not all 3. 6 and 7 only. 8 is due next week.